Wednesday. Number 1. Well, hopefully this is the beginning of a long future of Homebrew Wednesdays. So, what have I been doing for the past week? Well, I transferred my porter into secondary. I had to use my Cooper's fermenter, so because it doesn't have an airlock, I've put Glad wrap over the top and then put the lid on top just to try and help air getting in. The gravity at time of transfer was 1021. The target gravity for that was 1015, so it still has a little bit more to ferment out. But I'll leave it in that for about a week and I'll start taking measurements again. Hopefully it hits that. If not, it's just going to be a bit sweeter than I expected. But all I can say from what I've smelt and tasted in the hydrometer flask I used, wow, roasty, malty, little bit of hop aroma, not a huge amount, but it is a porter. Do this again, I may dry hop it in secondary with some Cascade, or if I can get some Amarillo, but we can only work with what we've got. And I have 200 odd grams of Cascade at the moment, which I'm using probably half in my next beer, which I'm planning on doing once this is finished in secondary. So I should be brewing again in about a week. Once I've bottled my porter, let it sit. I'll probably let it sit for 2 weeks before I try the first one. If it's good, I'll video it, put it up here, share the beer love around. Now, being someone that loves history, I've always been interested in how they lived, what they ate, what they drank. Another one of my passions is cooking. So I like to make pies and all kinds of things historically related, mainly pies. Who would resist a nice chicken elite pie? So what I've been researching lately is coming up with a medieval ale. It's probably going to be an amber ale, not too dark, not too light. It definitely will be 5 litres. I don't want to do a huge batch just in case it doesn't turn out that nice, because then that way I can use my main fermenter to ferment a beer I know that will turn out nice at 20 litres, and the 5 litre one doesn't turn out that nice, I guess I can just pour it down the sink and I haven't wasted too much of my malt. So far what I've read, I haven't found anything with hops. They've mainly used spices and cloves, which I think is spices, to add a bit more flavour profile. They've added oats, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I know it adds mouthfeel, but I'm pretty sure it adds head retention as well. But I could be wrong. Also, the other thing I've noticed, a couple of recipes are using 2 kinds of ale yeast, a Nottingham and a Windsor ale yeast. Now, never done this before. Probably should read up a bit more about it, but if I'm using 2 yeasts, in my head I'm thinking, well, one's just going to cancel out the other or suppress the other, so what would be the point? Is it one does the main fermentation and the other one then comes alive and cleans up after and gives its flavour profile? But I guess the only way to find out is get a pack of each, dump in the required amounts, which I guess for 5 litres would be what, 3 grams I think it is. I have to look it up. Now most of the recipes I've looked at for this medieval ale are all grain. I'm an extract brewer, so I'm going to do a dry malt extract, and as it's a 5 litre batch, I can do the full volume boil in my kettle, or pot. But I will get some specialty grains, steep them, just to add a little bit more graininess and flavour from the malts, as well as the oats. Then do the boil. I'm going to look at what spices. So far I'm thinking clove. That's it pretty much at the moment. I'll get back to you before I do it. I promise I'll film making this batch in case anyone is interested out there or wants to give it a try. Once it's fermented, I'll film that, and I'll even film the tasting video as well. So I might even like save it, film it all the way through, and then once it's all the way through the bottling, then I'll put the video together and put it up on my channel. Thanks for watching Fraser Breweries. Please like and subscribe, and chuck some comments below, and I'll see you all next week for another Homebrew Wednesday from Fraser Breweries. Until then, cheers, 17, keep drinking that homebrew.